Hey everyone, it's Rombie here. This is the playthrough of Code Veronica I just recently did for the Resident Evil podcast, the upcoming episode that we're doing on Code Veronica where we went and replayed the game. Unfortunately I didn't record the whole game, but I did record and stream the last half of the game. And so this is the various highlights and many lowlights of the gameplay. This is the PS4 version. It's the US PS2 game specifically. You can tell basically because of the USA copyright on the screen, as well as if you start the PAL version you get a language selection. It runs at a better speed in full frames compared to the European version, but so I've picked this to do my version of the replay. I could have cracked out the PS3 version and replayed that. It has its pros and cons. It's definitely a cleaner looking version running on the empty framework engine, but this version instead is just basically the PS2 port. So here's the start of some of the gameplay. Now the moths are probably one of the most annoying things about the Antarctic section, and so I've put a lot of these in just to show you how annoying this is. I got hit by the poison there. Just getting distracted by actually just watching me getting zombed by zombies. But I managed to not actually get poisoned, so I thought I was. This room is particularly very difficult, which is quite pitch dark, and so you try and kind of do exactly what I did there and kind of run around the zombies as best you can. But usually, inevitably, you get bitten. I think this is one of my better runs through here. As you get to see, I actually did this several times, so I didn't get bitten at all. Should just get past that one there, and that one just grabs me. But you can make it through the room. I have done it before. Here we are with the moths again. I stupidly just decided to run straight out. Of course I got attacked. And of course those little critters can also poison you, which is exactly what happens here. Later on I just got poisoned. Silly mistakes. It's actually much easier just to actually stand there, pop off shots at the ones, and let them fly around and land, than it is to keep running around. For an A rank, which is what I was going for with this, it was a challenge. So of course I'm trying to keep ahead of time. I have to get under 4.5 hours. So again here I foolishly ran straight into that. And I'm poisoned. Or if I'm not poisoned, I'm on caution. So this is the problem. But this case I was poisoned. Back to full health. Again, I ran out. Stupid mistake. Paid off okay this time just because... Yeah, and I've not been hit by that one, so I'm just like, I'm going. So this is the first of the many times I visited the heliport. I think this one was perhaps the biggest low light, which is that I wasn't really paying attention, and I got knocked straight off. That was a very silly thing on my behalf. I was so busy just kind of jumping the cutscene and making sure that I was going alright for time and looking at what people were commenting. So unfortunately I sat there for a while just basically going, oh my god, what have I done? Thankfully the section beforehand with the I'm just reading my comment to your female. The section beforehand with Claire is relatively short, and I can pretty much finish in about 15 to 20 minutes. I've pretty much worked out the most normal path. I think what I should probably mention is I played this game a lot when it first came out, and so I knew the path pretty well. Here I am just absolutely just making a mess of this section. Again, getting nibbled on. Go to check that I'm not on poison. I'm not, just a caution, that's not too bad. Just quite lucky to get out of that. I can try to get past here and just duck around here so I don't get bitten. As I was saying, the path is quite clear to me, so I'm able to get through it pretty fast. But it's one of those games where I'm not really a massive fan, which is kind of the most annoying thing, so I only really wanted to get the rocket launcher just to kind of replay it with the rocket launcher, which in order to do so you have to finish the A rank. The A rank's quite tough. It's probably one of the toughest in the original game series. The criteria is really strict. You can't save, you can't use first aid sprays. You get one free save from which used to be the swap point in the discs. This room with the spiders is also pretty tough. If you mess it up, you can quite easily get just basically tag teamed by them. Either by vomit, poisonous vomit, or exactly what happens here, where one bites me, then the other one bites me. Surprisingly, not low health, but I was more worried about poison. Of course, I just got stuck, poisoned and bitten again, so not particularly great. And there you go. Using the health just to make sure I don't die instantly, but I'm poisoned, so I require blue herbs. Here I am just popping those so I can use the herbs. It's a interesting game that the first half, the bit that I'm not really showing, is very much a backtrack. That's very lucky. Almost ran into poison too. Is almost a backtracking, quite heavy kind of game, whereas this is actually, the second half is much more linear in a lot of ways. There's very small hub areas. Again, just absolutely butchered that by running straight out into that moth. And poisoned, of course. Yeah, just terrible. I'm very harsh on myself for this. Like the runs, it's still going. Right, so here we go, second attempt at this. The most annoying thing about the PS2 version is the fog levels are kind of a little less translucent than the originals. But I could be wrong, I don't remember the Dreamcast being this bad. The PS3 version with the framework engine and the different lighting stuff is quite different. It's kind of a different look to it, so it's not as bad. Ooh, okay, yep, that's probably what I did at the time. Just decided to stay a little bit too close. The poison here, if you get poisoned, is actually better for the run, personally, just because you can do all the stuff with... Oh, and there we go, I got knocked off. You can do all the stuff with Chris, which is a lot easier to do if you've got poison, because when you go and clear out, you have to then go get the serum, and while you're doing that, you can do all the crane key and stuff. So it's a much kind of a smoother transition. So, having died again, I'm back here, and I'm going back through. This is just another run just to see what other options. I tried getting past the zombie here, no such luck, it just grabbed me on the corner, but it does knock it back, which means I should be fast enough to turn around and hopefully avoid getting bitten by either one of the other two. If you're fast through this room, you can usually get through without much problem. There's one there. This guy, I decided I went on the wrong side. I should have got on the other side. Probably still would have gotten bitten, but it was less of a chance, I think, maybe. Back in the spider room. Now, I don't know why I keep going. I keep going for the handgun ammo in case I need it, but in the end I ended up with about 400 to 500 handgun ammo, depending on what you're flying. I didn't even bother picking up the... there's also bowgun bolts in there. I stopped bothering picking those up. There's herbs as well in the back corner. But the risk for getting the herbs over the damage you take is not very good. At this point, I got poisoned by the spider in that room, and I wasn't really paying attention. I just noticed I was like limping really badly. And of course I realized, I'm poisoned, and not only am I poisoned, I'm at the lowest health possible, so I'm like really slow. But thankfully at this point it's pretty straightforward to kind of just get all the bits and pieces. I think I'm pondering what I'm going to do to try and solve this problem. Oh no, it was me writing "ficking poison" into the chat. Speeding this up just to show what I did, which is basically go around, kill the dogs, turn the power on, go out, and you have to check this to make sure you get the crank, and then just came in here, popped these two off, and used the herbs. So I was quite lucky in that regard. Didn't get bitten, didn't get attacked, otherwise I would have been dead. And I had a fully mixed herb, so we go straight back in and get bitten. Terrible. And I get bitten again here too as well. Remember this? Yep. Right in the corner, didn't even notice he was there. More of the moths again. I foolishly kind of ran in, and then this one straight on my back. If I just waited, it usually lands on one of the walls. Now I've got a critter on my back, which then bites me, and I get poisoned. Yay. So now I have to go back out. Well, I did a couple bits and pieces, but I have to go back out and I don't even know why I was looking for a blue herb, that's what I was doing. So I didn't have to go back out, but there was no blue herbs, so of course I go straight back out and I pop all these guys again. And use blue herb. This coming down the stairs when you've gone upstairs is really hard. I got very lucky there and just popped two of them with one shot. It was a good shot. Very clear as just a crack shot with those things. One bullet from the AK-47 and they're down. Well, pretty much any gun really. So as I was saying with the game, I kind of it's easier with Chris near the end if you actually do get poisoned, and it makes that very much streamlined, which we'll probably see later on when I get to the Chris section. At this point I'm coming back out and I'm just dealing more with the moths. They're not difficult, they're just annoying, and they're definitely a low light of a lot of people's runs. The amount of people complaining about the moths poisoning them and stuff like this. It would be so much more annoying if there weren't the big pile of herbs. So there you go, there's a moth on the wall, just waited. Much more sensible option. Oh, here I am again. So this time, we'll speed this up just so you can see. I'm tuning for a zoom in and got the rifle cutscene. If you don't manage, if you run out of rifle bullets, then you can just use your handgun. It still works. Or the knife, which if you use the knife to kill them, yeah. This is the worm. That's the easiest way to kill the worm, is just to use all the bowgun bolts. Here's a good idea, just to run from the hunters and the bandersnatch. There isn't a lot of real troublesome spots, but they're mostly these guys, and then the sweepers when you're coming back. I've pretty much cut this down to like the highlights. Well, that's an easy one to outrun, so you can outrun them there, and when you come back in, as you see, just pop me around. You can run straight, you're going straight to the bridge, so you just run straight for the door and he can't even get to you. These guys you kind of have to get round. I screwed this up later on. I think I included that to show. And this one, if you start running as soon as you get in there. The sweepers are the hardest. They do a lot of damage, plus they poison you. What I usually do come out for the lift is to carry a green and a blue herb, or a combo and a blue herb at least. Here's where I made a really stupid error with my machine guns. Oh no, this is the other way. This is where I died in a different way. That's alright. I've just given you a hint about what happens later on. This is not the way I died in this one. They hide a hunter behind the door here, which is really, really annoying, so you have to be ready for that. I think I wasn't. Yep, just stood there and oh no, hunter! That's a nice little setup for a trap there, so you've got to be prepared for that. It's pretty easy to take down when they're by themselves, they're not the hardest. But in here, yeah, unfortunately. These things are annoying because you've only really, most of the time you're only carrying around these dual machine pistols, and so they can poison you, but thankfully there's quite a few herbs around. And they mostly just stick to the ceiling off at a distance, they can't actually spit at you. But they're pretty easy to take down. There's hidden herb and grenade rounds in that corner there, and there's more herbs later on in the albinoid area, which is here. Now the albinoid you can fight, you can stand beside the water and actually take it on, but it's actually somewhat risky, but also somewhat easier just to go run into the pool and grab the thing and run straight out. Just got to make sure you have the herbs on you that you've picked up and you haven't had to use them. You definitely need to heal at least once. It depends on whether or not you get hit by the albinoid or if it just electrifies you. If it electrifies you, it doesn't do as much damage. If it knocks you over, it does a lot more. On the PS2 version, and maybe the Dreamcast, it's a lot harder to see the plate. It's in the middle there, so it was going down to grab for it and knocked me over. In the newer version, in the PS3 and Xbox 360, it's actually a lot easier to see. The water's a lot more translucent. So you can see I almost died there. So just the three herbs. Straight out. And just dropped out before he managed to zap me, so I just got her full health there. Very lucky. This is speeding through the rest of the game. There's not a lot of real difficult problems, to be honest. It's not until near the end that you kind of face some more issues. Gosh, it's hours of playthrough, just flying through. And he's into Alfred, find Alfred, and he's, there we go. Where are we going to end up? I can't even remember. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, I know exactly where we're going to end up. So I almost get bit here. I think it's this one. So, we got clear, and this is where I made my colossal mess up on this run. Firstly, I was distracted and almost let the zombie bite me. That's silly, because I was riding. I'm going to mess up the crash. And then, of course, I did. So, I had completely forgotten how to do this. It's one of those things. I know the run of the games, but I always forget the minor details. This is like one thing I always forget the most of, and I hate it. It just fills me full of dread. Everyone hates this thing. It's so annoying. Some people do it differently than I do. You definitely don't want to do it the way I do here, or the next time, because I die twice. Basically, anytime the cursor drops, it gives you extra time for dropping the next item. So it gives you enough time to grab this ball and run in and drop it without getting crushed. But if you go straight in to grab this now, you will get crushed. But of course I still thought it would be okay if I just ran past once. But no, I went to go grab the key, I missed it, and bang. If I grabbed the key I probably would have been okay, to be honest. But so at this point I'm just shocked, because I actually did mess it up just like I thought I was going to, and I'm sitting here going, God damn. Yeah, I'm wondering whether or not I should retry or just start back from my mid-game save. And I thought, oh no, stuff it, I just want to finish the game now. So I retried. It was a long process, and I kind of sat here for a while thinking about it. So some people, let's go speed through again. Some people do this by basically, instead of doing it, they trigger the trap again after they pick up the crystal ball, but they don't put the crystal ball down. They just walk slightly under it and then walk back, and it's enough to trigger it. And then when they do that, they can drop the crystal ball, and then once that's crushed the card, they can go and get the card and they won't get crushed. Why it does that, I don't know. But my resolve to do it, that I worked out later, was a better option, was to run straight through the middle to the prison, turn around to the little prison cell on the right, turn around the prison cell, run right back through again, which triggers the trap to drop, and then after that you can turn around and pick up the card and not have to worry about getting crushed at all. You've got plenty of time. But here I am psyching myself up, trying to contemplate what I'm actually going to do and not screw it up. But, you know, that's what happens here. You know, it's just one of those things. I'm taking a long time to psych myself up for this. Just watching the clock tick over. This is not helping my runtime. Not that it matters anymore, because I've already retried once, I think. And I just ran straight in there, bang. Oh, it's terrible. Oh, that's so funny. Anyway, here we go. Third attempt. Speeding right through. Right, picked it up. Going in. Putting the crystal ball down. Cutscene takes over. I back off, bang. Right, this time. Ran through into the cell. Then I work out what I'm going to do. Right, I'm going to run back through this time. This is what I tell myself. I'm going to run right back through. And it drops, perfect. And then I can run in and grab the card because it's just gone up. And there we go. If I'd just done that the first time, I wouldn't have ruined my A rank. So running through, it's the Steve fight, it's pretty straightforward. The Elixir fight, you just want to take the Magnum. With the Steve fight, your better option is actually to take all 2 full herbs with you and just get hit, than trying to avoid them. It's less risky. It's actually less risky. Elixir is real simple. 5, 6. You got 6 bullets, you use 2 at the start and 2. It's 4 pretty much. Sometimes 5. Running through the rest of the game. Very straightforward, nothing really too difficult. Just a bunch of zombies right down to the end. Elixir fight again, very easy. Code Veronica out the door. Right, so you want the Magnum first. For some reason I didn't equip it to myself, some weird reason, so after this cutscene I skipped this. Maybe I didn't. Don't know. There we go. So yeah, I didn't equip the gun, but you obviously want to do it before she kills Claire, because she can. So yeah, play it, Magnum, bang, one shot, that's enough to... Okay, glitched a bit. And then, this is ridiculously the most easiest thing you'll ever see, but just equip Bowgun. Should have plenty left. If you want to aim, you should hold them for the worm boss in this, and just fire away at her. Don't worry about the things flicking you. just, yeah, there you go, look at that. 5-6 seconds. Bang, 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 bang. Straight into the last fight. And that's just leaving you with the linear launcher shot. Now the linear launchers, you can actually run around here and not get hit, but I spend way too much time aiming. But if you basically just hear who you're about to aim, the sleep stick on the pad, just run around, try and aim. If you can't do it, if you're spitting the fiery acid stuff, you just run around in a circle. I think I ran around until she did a next launch, so I can, and she just leave a trail behind you like that, and then you just go and aim for her. And just run to repeat. Oops, starts spitting at me. If you get close to her tail, she can pick you up. I mean, it's not very good. So you don't want to do that. I'm trying to figure out where she is. Spit on her again. She's to my right and to the left. Check my house. Still important. Alright, cool. Wait for it to do it again so I can. Bang. The box is the trophy, I think, popping for the game. Should be in here. Nice and easy. It's really not a hard game, and it's in some ways, and yeah, it's also some of the hardest, especially if you are trying to get the best rank. You have to. I was saying before about the requirements for it. You need to finish it under 4.5 hours, no saves, no first aid sprays. You have to save Steve as fast as possible, and also give Rodrigo the hemostatic medicine. So there you go, I got B because I used my 2 retries, 3 hours 53 minutes and 2 seconds. So, a bit frustrating, but not the worst. So a couple of days later, it's like, right, I'm gonna go for the A rank because I know I can do it as long as I don't screw up the thing. So, what was of course the first thing I do? I go against Alex fight again, and of course I'm most likely going to screw it up because I always do. That is honestly the thing I screw up more than anything in this entire game because I get a little bit too cocky about having the gun. I hate the fog. My aiming is terrible. I don't know why. I've got some people who can stand literally at the start and just go fire 3 shots directly at his heart. I'm not making a good sniper. I just can't believe I just laughed at that. So yeah, not the best of shots. I think I kept this in because I think in this case, yeah, I almost got knocked off again. Great timing. But I think I don't die in this case. I think I end up using the handgun because I run out of. That was a bit of a glitch. My stream was having troubles that night, so these bits where it just drops. So there's 2 shots. I think I'm out of bullets. And I'm using the handgun.
Yeah, the knife is actually really good.
We'll see in a second. Poison is so annoying too when you're aiming. So I was out of bullets, so I'm just straight to the handgun. And you just literally just fire at the auto aim and fire at them. That way, of course. She will get knocked off.
My liking.
And she does enough damage, she just falls over. She didn't take it long. I made the mistake of trying to use the AK-47 one time, because it did nothing, whereas the handgun seems to be at the right height. And you said you get this cutscene. So you just fell over and you go and rescue Steve. Pretty straightforward. Not a problem at all. So here's the worm. This is what happens when you screw it up. I think I messed it up and only just managed to cover. So as you saw there, Chris got kind of knocked off balance when the worm first came out. And if that happens, it kind of throws your aim off. And of course, if you're wanting to fire from 5 consecutive bolts at the worm, you kind of can't. So I try not to screw it up further by like missing and then pulling the worm, keep knocking me over. If he does that little pop up where he comes out of the ground just briefly and kind of nails you, can be really bad. So at this point I was like, right, I need health, and then I'm just going to run around circles until he does a full pop out. I've got 6 shots, so still enough. And if I run out, I could just go back through that door and grab some other weapons and try and take him down. So just being conservative with my shots. Every time he pops up, I just pop 1 or 2. But if you get him real good when he first pops up, you can get it done, as you saw earlier on when I did it earlier, in like just a few seconds. Surprisingly, some of the other guys watching on the stream had never seen it done that fast. They didn't realise that how effective they really were against the worm. Hunters again, so here was a bit of run and then I got stuck on that silver box. If you start running as soon as the cutscene's over, same thing here, but I almost died. Very, very lucky that I didn't really. Went straight to danger, and they still slashed me again as I was going through. I think this is here where I messed up the zombie, so I didn't wait long enough, and then we went too far to the left, which means he does a little quick turn and grabs me. Zombies have this seemingly random ability built in, where sometimes they don't pay attention to you very quickly, and other times they just run straight around or turn not on the spot. Again, hunters, sweepers almost absolutely taking me out there. I'm going to check my health. Poison, but poison thing, I'm on danger. What happens, a green herb? Not the best. Here's where I made the mess up. So this is the most embarrassing one of the entire thing. And as soon as I hit fire on the weapons, I knew what I'd done. I thought, oh yeah, I'll stand here, bang, and
oh no! Oh, what did I just do?
Oh god, that was terrible.
Oh, no.
I haven't done that in a very, 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 very long time. Probably since the first times I ever played the game. Didn't realise that the damage you could actually do. I knew this, and yet I still stood there like an idiot. 5 more weapons.
Oh, no.
Sometimes you can get away with it. If you're on full health,
As soon as I fired that,
you'll get away with it. You'll get damaged, but you'll get away with it. But I was already slightly in caution, so from danger on one green herb, so of course it was going to kill me. So of course I go back, reload my midway save. We go through the whole thing with Alex again. I should speed this one up. We've already seen this enough times. I think it's just to prove how absolutely terrifying this part of the game. Oh god. Maybe I got it this time. There was 2 good shots, I think. Maybe in there. Maybe not. Oh god. So yeah, the second half, as I was saying, not a lot of backtracking. It's relatively a lot more straightforward, which makes it a little bit faster and makes it, for this sort of thing, a little bit easier to replay and not feel so bad about having to redo kind of the later half of the game over. There we go, yeah, definitely I done my shots before, so nice little shot of him thumping onto the ground. Very good. So again, here's the worm. I think this time I got it again where I just bam, 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 bam. Yeah, there we go. Very easy. Very fast.
Kindo, if you can
Poor Rodrigo.
blow himself up.
I always wonder if people saw it. I feel like the development team saw what they wanted a worm that was like the sandworm in Beetlejuice.
Thanks.
It's like a giant worm that kind of digs through the ground. Again, training the hunters, but getting swept behind's not that bad. Doesn't do a huge amount of damage. It's the big jumping sweeps you have to worry about. Oh, here I messed up this right as I went through the door, and I thought to myself, oh, this will be fine. I'll be fine. You know, I do like the red light on the door because the light was going off. It's a nice touch. I thought, oh yeah, it'll be fine. You know, I'll just do this bit and then go straight back out. Sort of speed up there, and there won't be a hunter. It'll be fine. They're gone. Because there's no thing out there normally. No, the hunter straight away. And he did a big jump. And that's exactly what I was talking about with the hunter jumping here. It just does a lot of damage. A lot more than you realise. And usually one hunter's not too bad, but you get a pair of them. Like out here, doing that. Look, straight away, slash, run out of danger. It's just really risky. And again, through the sweepers, same thing. You know, get trapped here, which is really risky. And then I get hit again because I accidentally hit on the touchpad, which does your select and start, and they go back to fine, and they still hit me again, so I go back on poison once again. Honestly, one of the most difficult parts of the entire game, that just, if you're not willing to, even if you're willing to stand your ground and shoot at them, you've got two of them coming at you, so unless you've got a, and even with the dual weapon, it's not enough firepower. So again with the Albinoid, just to show that it's doable, I think I didn't screw this up as bad as last time, I think. Or did I screw it up worse? Maybe that's what I came pretty close to dying on one of these, so maybe this one. Yeah, I think it is this one because it was already knocking me over. Yeah, this is the one. That was a dumb mistake there. Can't believe I they're still on caution. Wow. Surprised I didn't check that earlier. For some reason I was pretty sure, or maybe it's because I didn't look. Yeah, see I was on the orange caution. So that last time getting zapped as I was walking out, I'm sure I checked it, it said yellow caution, and then I look again, it was orange caution. It was zooming through the rest of the game, the rest of the Rockford, the rest of here. Very straightforward, very easy. It's as you notice, this isn't streaming. This was my playthrough where I just uploaded it because I couldn't get the streaming to keep working. It keep giving me problems, which is why I'm doing this now and talking over it, because it's an hour of not really explaining all. Anyway, right through again we get back to the trap. Everyone's favourite. So this time, having learned my lesson, I'm going to do exactly what I did the last time. I did it out of the 3 times on the B grade run. So, trap goes down, and go out, and grab the ball. Now I got so apprehensive about this, I think I ran into the thing and tried to put the ball down, and it wouldn't let me. Yeah, so I had to like move in very quickly and hope that it'll let me do it again. Go through into the thing. Again, I'm so lucky that it didn't drop by running into that wall. And card. One time. And there's a little click. And we're all good. So, Steve, again, Alexia, just a few shots with them, make them nice and easy. 1, 2, fix them, fire blood. 1, 2, 3, down. Maybe 4 actually, I think she was already falling way down. Because Claire wasn't poisoned that time, I had to go and do some of the actual stuff that I usually do when she's poisoned. It's not really a big deal, it just changes the order of things that you're doing. So again, Chris is going through. Rest of the game, nice and easy. Final cutscene, final battle, boss battle again, same thing as before. This time I think I had made them loaded so I could get bang straight away, nice and easy. Let's get the cutscene this time. And same thing as last time, very straightforward. Got the bow gun and just keep firing. It's like 5 or 6 seconds on the clock, I think. Something like that. It's insane, just how easy that is. People sometimes try and use the bioweapon gas on her. It doesn't work, it's completely useless instead. It's only used against the Tyrant and zombies. Anything with a T-virus, basically. Veronica, no. I haven't tried against the hunters, but I figured not, because they usually need like acid rounds and flame rounds and stuff, but they could work. But definitely doesn't work against the bosses. So you can hear stupidly running around circles getting hit by the flames, which is spitting out. We keep just trying to aim for that shot. So yeah, not an impossible task, just like a difficult one. If you get through the first half, you get to save. If you've literally got Steve as fast as possible, gave the Hemostatic to Rodrigo. Haven't used any first aid sprays, just herbs. And and you've just gone as fast as you can through, especially if you know the path. It's that part's all relatively straightforward, but there's all these little moments where you can easily screw up and the whole thing's ruined. And as you can see, I not one of my favourite games. I haven't played this for about 4 or 5 years, but I still remember it very well just from playing it so much around 2000, 2001, 2002. But it's interesting to revisit, and I'll definitely have a lot more to say during the podcast just as we talk through the game and the progress and everything. I still love the soundtrack. I still love the voice acting. I think the story's good, if a little cheesy in places. And I think of all the things really is just looking at this last scene again. It's such a shame because it's such a setup where I wanted to know where we were going next. This sounded like it's so definite. We're going to go take on Umbrella and stuff, and of course then it never happened. We just got Resident Evil 4 where Umbrella has been abolished. And so it was such a little bit of a letdown after that. I'm gonna say it, but watch this explosion. There's no way that Antarctic base could survive. Screw your Umbrella corpse. So yeah, that's my lot. I appreciate you listening to me for the last half hour or so. Hopefully it's giving you a little bit of insight in the later half of the game. If you guys like these sorts of things, I'm happy to sit down at some point and go through some of the other games and just give out pointers and maybe not show so much of the screw ups that I've done, but really where you can kind of avoid enemies and do that sort of stuff. I do like kind of doing this sort of stuff in the games, and I think I'm the only one in the podcast team who really kind of does this sort of thing to a higher level. I just like finishing the games with a good quality rank and getting the extra unlockables and stuff like that. But even I struggle with them. I'm not the best player in the world. I've definitely seen some players, as I was saying before, with the sniper rifle. It's just outstanding, and obviously people who can go through these games and complete them with knives. I'm not at that level, but and I'm definitely not a speedrunner either, but I definitely have my own little tactics, and they do surprise some people from time to time. But anyway, thanks again, and yes, if you want to hear more, definitely tune into the next episode of the Resident Evil podcast. If you haven't already, you can find all the previous episodes that we've done. We've done about 60 odd total, including the commentaries and all the bonus episodes and stuff on the website. It's projectumbrella.podbean.com, or soon to be residentevilpodcast.com as well, which you'll be able to find all that stuff on there. Otherwise, you can look up our links for Discord, join in the conversation, and all the others. YouTube, we're on Apple, Stitcher, Spotify, all the usual places, so you can tune in and listen to our ramblings much like this. So thanks again for joining me, and I'll catch you next time.